Another thing that was a major event that was a turning point as far as how America viewed its own racism, and that was the event in Ferguson and the inception of the Black Lives Matter movement. I mean, how did you feel like your safety and your identity and everything? How did that change after that event?
It was frightening to some degree because it felt way too close in time to the previous Trayvon Martin case and the results of that, and then, but it was the fact that the language had shifted, and to try to reinforce in black people across the nation, and from what I understand, the movement from where it originally, like, its cause was black people across the world to understand that, like, you have value and that you are worth every bit of the air you breathe every day. You know, it was very strange because it was overwhelming, and like joy and pain and sorrow all at the same time, because you see the marches and you feel their anger, you feel their hope, you know, you can see the fear, you know, in the lack of fear, you know, and seeing that in recent events, even as of last year, going to places like Milwaukee right after Philando Castile had been shot, and being in those areas, it's weird. It's great. I value the movement every bit. I know it'll be a moment in history. I know what happened in Ferguson will definitely be a moment in history as we see race develop even more. That'll be a shift. It'll be another shift, just like the riots in LA or Chicago or anywhere else that have ever happened in America's history. Like that one in particular will be, unless there's another one. And honestly, I doubt there'll be another one because of the current law and order administration, you know. But it was weird. But what was also weird was that when discussing Black Lives Matter in conversation with like other people or watching it unfold in the news and in journalism and all sorts of like media outlets and everywhere, pretty much was the immediate, well, everybody, all of us, and it was such a lazy response. I thought it was. You can't say that fully. There's no way you can live in a country and say that all people matter if you wear anything that's not made by yourself. You know, like, it's just so simple, you know, to say something like all lives matter in response to a black person declaring that they matter.
And it seems like the response to the all lives matter statement is, well, yeah, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, and it's so weird that conversation like lasted so long and lasted for almost 3 years. People use that as the immediate takedown. Even today, you can catch Ben Carson saying something like that, and it's unnecessary. It's distractive. If you really feel that way, there should be a way you can prove it. And less than likely you don't want to prove it, because I feel like if you say all lives matter, you are saying that you yourself feel that you matter.
It's like an affirmation or an outward affirmation of confirmation bias.
Yeah,
is what it sounds like to me when they say that.
That's all it is, man. Way smarter words. But yeah, it was Black Lives Matter was a great moment in time, and it'll probably continue forward. I hope it doesn't lose steam like the Occupy movement did, but current administration, I imagine that unless it takes up a more radical platform, it may not see light of day.
So what do you think of the opposition then? Not just like the All Lives Matter guys, but what do you think of the alt-right movement?
The farther right guys?
Right, the guys that adopted the
Bad
high and
haircuts
tight.
yeah, we were both thinking about the haircuts, dude. I don't like their quest of maintaining whiteness or European identity is a false claim. Like, they're not trying to protect their identity as much so they are trying to protect the idea that they are of some higher class or higher breed of person for some reason. And I don't understand what the point is, other than to join this wave of nationalism across the world.
Yeah.
Like, there is a strange rise of nationalism across the world right now. You saw it in Greece a couple years ago when they had a far right movement. You saw it, the Brexit incident that happened. Like, you see it all over.
France is having
their laws against like Muslims is very extreme. So it's bizarre to me. It's crazy to me. It's terrifying to me because they can latch on to young guys, like men.
Because it's a reactionary thing.
Very much.
And as a young guy, say you're like 19 or 21 or whatever, and you're still trying to figure out who you are.
Someone says that you're the reason why black people were enslaved, and you don't want to take that blame,
right?
Because you don't even know two black people.
Yeah.
But someone says that you already hate them because your whiteness means that you hate black people, and like to make someone.
And they don't understand the words behind it, what those words mean.
Right.
Is that everything that you do indicates a hatred towards black people.
Yeah.
Like the things that you say, like how you talk about other black people,
right.
Like things that you do around them.
The way you run your businesses, the way your parents ran their church sermon. Like, they had churches, but you only saw that only certain people got to be in your church groups, go to your church. Like, there's so many things. Because, but again, there's only so many black people in the world, so many other minorities in the world, in America, and the far right movement is so weird to me because of their beliefs in conspiracy, like these theories of like administrations wiretapping previous administrations, like that, just. They seem
like,
to have, like, what is the water turns frogs gay now? Like, I don't know, just far right ideology.
Pizzagate.
And that could have been a very dangerous situation.
Yeah.
And it's so very weird to me that people can latch onto these ideas that seem so far fetched and make a movement out of it.
Yeah. And social media spurs that along.
Right.
They have an outlet to be able to talk to each other. Otherwise, they'd have to like figure out a way to meet in person or take out ads or something.
Yeah.
And, if it was something that extreme, they'd have to be more discreet, and there'd be more coding. And
that's why they do it on college campuses with flyers that say "Save your identity."
Yeah.
It never says whiteness directly, and it never says white power directly. But the
looking
images...
to get Aryan-based tattoos or white power tattoos in your local tattoo, artist want to do it?
Yeah,
we got guys.
We got plenty of guys.
By the way, let's get you fitted for a hood.
Yeah, you want to wear this patch? It looks good on you. Yeah, it's weird. There's a rise in that type of thinking, that frame of mind, and it terrifies me because there's so many just everyday people who don't believe this, who still embrace it.
Yeah.
Like, to some degree, if your brother is doing this and you never address that, and your brother, it's still going to be in your house.
Yeah. And that's something I wanted to bring up is like, so many white people like myself are we're all guilty of saying or doing something that is, racist, even in a micro way. I know that I've done shit, but I benefited the most when if I said something shitty and I didn't realize what I was saying was shitty, if the person who was offended by that then said, "You're being an asshole," I benefited most from that.
Yeah.
And I've said stuff that was just totally fucking not mindful even in the least. And that's usually when it comes out, is because you have that mindset generation by generation.
Right.
So then they just spout shit off, and white people like myself, we need somebody to tell us that we're being fucking stupid, I
think it would take another white person to tell white people that they're being fucking stupid, though.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know.
Don't raise your children to be like that. Become aware of what's going on and then try to, not inundate them with that kind of mindset. You're not entitled to anything. When you're born into this world, it's, miraculous that you're even there.
Yeah.